guy was in the accident or whatever the hell it was.
I need to see something get tossed out for the games.
You know, I give McDermott credit. One of his
As a matter of fact, there's some
main criteria
We are live streaming.
when he drafts or anything else, character.
Oh, all right.
Larry and Levy was the same way. Oh yeah, big time.
Yeah, I can have his contact too. I'll just have it in the office. Not the other message, or do you want an email? It's easier for you. Okay. Sounds good. It's best.
Okay.
But we'll have a couple committee reports tonight, just to let you know. Sunday.
Good evening.
I'll ask you a question.
Oh, what?
I'll have a couple committee reports tonight.
Oh, good.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Sounds good.
How are you?
I'm well. How are you tonight?
Good, good.
No.
I had them strong. Did you go to your girls' birthday? Oh, yeah. I didn't buy them.
Hey, Dawn, are you going to do this as well?
Gabrielle has a heart doctor.
No. I mean, are you going on non-sleep for
Oh,
breakfast? Other day?
Bruce,
Okay.
if Bruce doesn't, I will.
Gotcha.
I have something for garbage and youth and senior center.
Okay. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Lancaster Town Board work session for April 15th, 2024. Okay, we should have no developers who are scheduled to be here tonight, so we're going to pass right over that, and we're going to go around to our department heads and ask them what's happening in their departments. Tonight, let's start with Ed Schiller, town engineer.
Excuse me. I don't know, the historical building, Bruce and myself and the architect and the contractor did a walk around the other. Just some other issues have been uncovered as they're peeling away the layers. So the architect's putting together a letter to come back to the board. We also did a walk around the schoolhouse. Pretty much everything is done. We've got a couple questions on the question on the shutters and a question on the ramps. I'm just waiting for a response. Siebert Road culvert, that's on the agenda tonight to get the contract signed, so we'll get
Yep.
we'll get that rolling. Warner Road reconstruction, I met with Highway today. They have the design just to look through, make sure nothing jumps out at them, assuming it's okay. We're looking to go out to bid to that hopefully sometime in May. So that would be work this summer. And then the connecting Lancaster, we have the wetland walkover scheduled for that later on this month, I forget which date. And the Ellicott Creek FEMA project, again, that contract's on tonight, be signed, and we'll get that project off and rolling.
Great. Okay, and again, we are, anytime something's done in the town now, we are making sure any kind of work is being done on one of our facilities, our buildings. We're asking that the town engineer go out there and inspect it and make sure it's done properly. And hopefully somebody from the buildings department also goes out there with him to make sure things are done properly before we pay the contractor for the work that they've done on there. So, Matt?
Well, we had an interesting event there at the end of last week. There was, surface flooding in the typical, low-lying areas. I did get out over the weekend, and sure enough, all the floodplain areas were flooded. That's where we want the floods to go. So there's really not much more to report there. I was able to follow up again this morning at the Broadway site. Definitely a culvert crossing issue at State DOT. I haven't gotten a response back yet from them from their findings, but it's pretty clear what went on there. Just it couldn't take the amount of water traveling down both of those highways. But I was happy that the stormwater facility that was on that site worked, and it worked well.
Good. Yeah, I drove past it several times and the water was still up,
Yep.
10, 12 hours later.
Right,
So.
no doubt. Until it could cross the state highway, it was acting like its own little retention facility. Okay, so, but we're just moving along, responding to those drainage complaints, property maintenance. But other than that, there's nothing further to report.
Okay. Did you guys get a copy of the letter that came in today regarding some flooding, 37 Milton Drive?
Yeah, that was investigated several years back. The pond structure itself is operating correctly. On the village side of those parcels, it's a surface flow issue. There's a drainage easement that runs on the south side of all those parcels that's supposed to direct all of that runoff to the east, where there's an inlet that discharges into the pond. Something is not happening. Either the inlet's plugged or the grade is improper, but it's crucial that each property owner ensures that their drainage swales are operating so it can convey that flow. But, you know, I'll look into that a little bit further. I'll respond to the owner and, you know, show them what the design plans. There is a set of design plans out there for the pond, as well as a grading plan for that southern portion of that development.
Okay.
So be sure to.
And then you're helping out the village right now, you bring it to their attention as well, is that?
Well, it's a code issue, it's a code enforcement issue that falls right back on us. I hesitate
Okay.
to cite a complainant for a drainage issue. I'd rather have that conversation, provide the initial grading plans as a benchmark so that we can reestablish how it operates.
Okay. Anything else? John Pilato, what do you got?
The Highway Department has seen an uptick in drainage calls with the wet weather that we've had. We were able to fix an issue on Via Donato last week and on Peppermint Road. The department is still in full brush pickup mode, sending crews out for small piles along with 2 grapplers and a sweeper daily. We've decided on the roads that we're going to mill and pave this spring. Tentative date's going to be May 13th to start the milling. Those roads that are definites are Ream Road, Hillside Parkway, Pondview Court, Green Meadow, Heritage, Hill Valley, Trentwood Trail, and Lucia Court. This is our spring pave. Then we're going to hit another one more in the south, probably in August. So we'll review them, and I'll get that to the board when the time is right.
Great.
I'd like to thank the board in advance for Resolution 10. It's for my new hire, Brian Kurtz. Brian has his Class A license and brings over 15 years of experience with his previous employment at the state DOT. Not to mention stellar work ethic and excellent reviews from his crew chiefs and management at the DOT. Also a big thank you on Resolution 12. Mr. Burkhart worked hard on that. That is for the purchase of our new Graco line laser striper. So thank you very much.
Very good, thank you. Bruce?
Good evening, Honorable Town Board. Bruce Stutz, Lancaster Parks, Recreation, Forestry, and Buildings. Looking for the board support. 6 resolutions before the board today. Resolution 6, Resolution 9, Resolution 13, 14, 15, and 17. Any questions on those, feel free to ask. But the ones that stick out as far as our part-time seasonal, we're putting on, our part-timers are going to seasonal early May. And also number 17, the Skag mower. We're just deficient in our cutting grass. Today's the first day we had cutting grass, so we're looking for a new mower for our department. And the Skags, our feedback from our crew are what they want and what we need. So on the park side, a lot of rain, obviously. So John touched on that one with the drainage. So not a lot of cutting the grass, not a lot of field work, but once it does break, we are going to be, those are going to be full force on those. On the recreation side, we're starting our interviews for our part-time and seasonal help. That'd be for the parks, the pool, and our programs. So that's starting over the next couple of weeks. We'll be doing interviews. On the forestry side, I handed out some flyers for Arbor Day. So Arbor Day, our celebration for Arbor Day in the town is at Westwood Park on Saturday, April 27th. Festivities and events start at 10 o'clock. So John will be there, and then we have presentations. We'll have a demonstration for our grappler truck, and everyone's invited to attend. It's a very cool event for Arbor Day. So our spring planning's nearly complete. So we have a couple more miscellaneous trees. So we're going to do some planting at the schools leading up to Arbor Day, and we'll be planting for sure on Arbor Day during our celebration. And on the building side, really not a lot. Ed touched upon a couple of our follow-ups. 100% on board with a punch list and walk on these projects when we're done with them. And really just a couple small projects. We're starting a small project at police tomorrow or Wednesday. And the doors are complete at the youth bureau. And then just looking at little things, nothing compared to what we were going through last year. It seemed like we were a lot of large projects. But right now, just working on a lot of smaller ones. So appreciate your support. I always appreciate the guidance from the board. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Before I forget, John, I don't know if you talked to the Director of Finance today or not, but FEMA apparently gave us $150,000 for the snow removal during that debacle of a snowstorm. Oh, absolutely. And the Youth Bureau, we should be getting something for that in the not too distant future as well. So, good job tracking that too. Chief?
So the big Eclipse event came and went with really nothing. We saw less traffic than during the COVID time period, so it ended up being we ended up sending people home and not bringing some extra bodies in later in the evening as a result, which was fine. Everybody that was here did a really good job. The communication between supervisor's office, the rec and parks and highway, as well as Ron Rosler over at OEM, our department, everything, we were able to coordinate everything really well and know what each party was doing to make things work. So, that went over really well. Happy to report that our 2 recruits that came out of the academy back in December, within the next week, if everything goes as planned, they should be out on their own. So we'll start getting more officers out on the streets, individuals. And also, if everything goes according to plan, I just received word that the new captain's list is out, and I should have 2 candidates on it. So hopefully, my plan is potentially by the next board meeting to bring somebody to you to hopefully fill that position. That's all I've got.
Great. Thank you very much. Yeah, and as for the Eclipse, again, we didn't know what to plan for, so we basically planned for everything. Great job, everybody involved. Nothing bad happened, and that's always good. So, town board members, what do we got? Anything?
I would like that, I guess we're out here, we can talk about the band.
Yeah, sure.
So I was looking at things, and I came up with a proposal too. And with the band, I can't remember if we can break that into 2. More of a capital project band, which would have Erie Street and then the multiple purpose turf field in one, because that can be stretched out a longer term with that. And the second one would pull in, we would take off the Flushing, because working with Matt, John, coming up with a plan, and also with Councilmember Schroeder's help for the grant. And we feel we can really possibly get that this time through a grant, to take that off and then put on the 2 4x2 Class 8 trucks with plow, salter equipment. The 2 mounted, the 25 cubic inch, the leaf vackers. What that will do is John will be able to sell 2 of them, keep 1 for an emergency. The walk-behinds have 4 individuals with it, and people do get hurt. John got hurt. We have somebody else on comp as well because of it. That will free up 6 people so that they can do other projects within the town and not do the leafing. Also, it's more efficient. And then the wheel loader, because we had one go down. You were there during the snowstorm, or Donnie and Bobby were banging on trucks, welding them to get them back out. This would keep everyone out. If something goes down, they can go back out, and we could have more people out on the road to keep it open for the police, EMS, and fire. In addition to
great job with help from rec, highway. We didn't have to spend $1 million to a contractor, subcontractor like Cheektowaga did. That's what we're trying to eliminate. We could spend $1 million and in a week, it all melts and you have nothing to show for it, except they removed it within that time frame. Pulling in Enchanted Forest, that bridge, because it's a lower amount, as well as a traffic study. I do believe the traffic study is paramount, especially with the moratorium, to get our information that we can use 5 to 6 years down the line. Because if at an intersection, we need something done because a subdivision's going in, and the builder, we say, you want this to go in, we need this done at this intersection, it will pay for itself in one shot. And we can use this for years when we look at it. What that does is, the first one is 4.05 million, and this is 1.95. It's a little higher than budgeted, it's about 950,000 more, but I think overall, what we would be getting and what we get for the town and equipment would really benefit everyone. So that's my proposal on that.
Okay. Could you send that to Nick?
Yeah.
So we can price everything out? It's in meeting with the bond, our bond person, basically, it was discussed and the best limit would be about $5 million. Okay, so we're trying to keep it at that level. However, there may be some ARPA funds for something in here that we may have left, and we'll have to figure it out that way. But yeah, if you could send that over, he can crunch the numbers, and we can pass it around to everybody on the board here.
And then also,
And
he sells those two other ones, we can, whatever we get for it, we could always put on the bond as well.
Okay, I think we got rid of the flusher already from, I don't think John wanted it anymore, last I heard.
Oh, I want it.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
in a choice between the other ones and that. But the thing with the field and the water line is the water line requires a public hearing on it. So I don't know if we can put the two of those together on there completely. Yeah, it's a
Yeah,
separate
water line
thing.
has to be resolution separate because you have to set a hearing first and then have the hearing, and then there's a, I don't know what the estoppel period is, 30 days or whatever it is on top of that. The water line work has its own path.
But the good news is it looks like if we go ahead with the field, the county's going to give us $300,000 for it. So
Okay.
we've been discussing that with Frank Tadaro, so.
So that would definitely help. I mean, if John would want to give up the 150, we get 300, that's 450. That'll bring it down to 550, 450 extra for everything, so. Yeah. All right.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else on that one?
I just wanted to add in, I do like what Councilmember Burkhart added in there. I would also like to have really considered for the bond, or maybe for grants, I could talk to Councilmember Schroeder about getting either the splash pad in Westwood Park or the ADA playground in Westwood Park going. I think that that's something, you know, we're doing a lot of things for the town with this bond, but I think these two things would really be something great for all of our families to be able to utilize.
Okay, and again, there is some potential grants from the federal government, so we should look at that and see,
Yeah.
you know, if we can bring some money in from there. See what we can do.
Yeah,
Okay.
that'd be great.
Councilmember Schroeder, anything?
I appreciate the hard work that the council members have put into it. I like the ideas. Thank you.
Great, thank you. What?
Mind if I just touch on something real quick?
Come on up.
Regarding the flusher, it's definitely something that's integral to, you know, for the town moving forward. But talking to Dawn and Mark and Matt, we feel that there's a plan in place that we're gonna, with stormwater, to present a case for that grant. And I would honestly hate to spend the money and not try to go for the grant. The other issue is I need a place to store it. You know, we looked at our new garage that was put in maybe 6 or 7 years ago. I mean, it'll fit. Every time the snow flies, I'm gonna have to move that. I can't leave it outside. So again, I just want to be 100% sure that we have all our ducks in a row when we grab that flusher. Okay?
Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay, we're going to go through the resolutions,
I have committee report.
committee reports. We
Was it-
usually do when we get
Oh,
into the
sorry.
main meeting.
Including-
But if you want to do them right now, you
No,
go
no,
right
no,
ahead.
no.
Okay, and if we have time, we can do them after we run through the resolutions. We have 25 resolutions tonight. First one is to approve the minutes of the regular meeting of the town board held April 1st, 2024. Second one is approve audited claims. Councilmember Dickman, number 3.
Issuance of building permits.
Number 4 is authorize change order number 1 to Schuster Construction with the cost elimination of tasks at the Little Red Schoolhouse. Number 5 is authorize transfers in the budget. Number 6, appoint Parks, Recreation, and Forestry Department part-time temporary seasonal employees. Number 7 is to authorize the Erie County Water Authority remove fire hydrant in Gunville Road and approve the Erie County Water Authority to install and relocate new valve and existing water line. Number 8, adopt credit card usage policy. Number 9 is to authorize transfers again in the 2024 budget, this time for Park and Recreation. Number 10, recognize appointment of Brian Kurtz as a laborer in the Highway Department. Councilmember Burkhardt, number 11 and 12.
Authorize auction surplus highway department equipment. Number 12, approve purchase for one Graco Line Laser Auto Guns Striper and Laser Guide 2000 laser guided system through Sourcewell to Sherwin-Williams for Highway Department.
Okay. Number 13, Councilmember Studley.
This is to accept and authorize the proposal for removal and installation of electric baseboard heaters in the Lancaster Library bathrooms.
Councilmember Schroeder, 14 and 15.
This is authorizing a change order for Brickyard sprinkler system and also a change order to fire safety system for a camera for the Youth Bureau.
Councilmember Studley, number 16.
That is to set the public hearing regarding amending the vehicle and transportation ordinance for speed limits on Warner and Stutzman.
Okay. Councilmember Schroeder, 17 and 18.
17 is purchase of a Cheetah mower, Skag mower for the Parks and Recreation Department, as Bruce had mentioned earlier. And then 18 is authorizing a new grant writer for the town of Lancaster.
Okay. Councilmember Dickman, number 19.
Number 19 is a special use permit for Anderson's on Transit Road.
Number 20 is to approve amended site plan, West Her Auto Dealership, 6501 Transit Road. Councilmember Burkhardt, 21.
Authorize permit private improvements, West Her on Transit Road.
Okay, 22 is approve a site plan at 5841 Genesee Street. Councilmember Burkhardt, number 23 and 24.
Approve and authorize supervisor to execute agreement to Gomez and Sullivan Engineers, design Elkett Creek flood bench. 24 is approve and authorize supervisor execute agreement to Urban Engineers of New York for Siebert Road culvert.
And number 25 is approved site plan O'Reilly Auto Enterprises, 5057 Transit Road. Councilmember Schroeder, do you want to go ahead with your,
Yeah, I
Committee
apologize,
reports
I
at this point?
misspoke. I was caught up in it, I thought we were already in the meeting. Solid waste and recycling. Earlier this year, I met with Waste Management. We just established a better follow-up system for daily issues, and I have to put out a huge thank you to the garbage hotline girls, Sharon and Jennifer, and the supervisor's office for keeping on top of this. So I think our daily problems are being taken care of. Working with Waste Management, these daily problems that are cropping up are being taken care of expediently. As well as we've been adding public service announcements to social media and our Lancaster Connect app. So I stress, please, everyone download that Lancaster Connect app and to keep up to date with current happenings, not only about garbage, but about, highway and so forth, town happenings. The second report and the last one I have is the Youth Bureau and the Senior Center both tonight are hosting an intergeneration event. It's a new program involving both seniors and youth interacting together. Games, food, and the jazz band. The high school jazz band is playing tonight at the concert. This is the first of many more events, hopefully, in which our seniors and youth can interact and learn together. And history is positively influencing our future. It's wonderful.
Outstanding. Thank you very much. Okay, why don't we take a break to the regular meeting at 7 o'clock? Thank you.
Did we get a notice of claim against us in the last couple of days? I got a call from another attorney who says that they were also included, and I didn't see a claim. So,
I haven't got very
okay, just checking.
I've been here too. I've been here too. I don't know.
Yeah. So we got Riley's.
Did they have any of
Those were the rah-rah committee reports. Those were the rah-rah.
How you doing?
From your dog sports?
I'm not on any rah-rah committees.
Planning? You want to see what with,
Yeah, well, not planned. I mean,
It's not a rah-rah. It's more of the, do whatever we're told.
I think you guys are doing good work, so.
She is. She's doing fantastic.
Anthony,
All credit to Cindy.
and then
What is 5850? What is 5841? Gone blank. Is that shopping search? Okay. Yeah, so that will need one.
site 65.
Yeah, that PIP is on the agenda. Yeah, PIP wise, they're good to go on that one. I looked at the agenda on Friday with her. She had the PIP before the site approval.
Hello, Karen,
no,
how are you? Oh, it's so good to see you.
Come up here, I'll call for that, and then you can come up and address the town for 5 minutes. Okay.
Hanging out.
We tried between kindergarten and all so
I'm looking for buildings week is in Phoenix. Just FYI.
I went to Western.
Yes, he likes me to let people know so they don't call him at 7 o'clock in the morning. 4 o'clock in the morning out there.
I found out
Hawaii.
my son.
Oh, I'm going to risk. Where was he? Oh, he was not. Oops. What's he doing? Retired?
Well, Cole, my son from the West, he's the same. Yeah, he's looking forward to
But down's fine.
and it's constant.
Yeah.
Last night, not this.
I don't know why the village.
I literally just so he's got his physical.
I don't know why the village is walking away from it. It's definitely there. You get the water from the east.
Which my name is Karen
grading.
Yeah. But that's height. There's a height there.
There's supposed to be a pipe behind it.
Right. No, but I mean, I'm thinking, like, in the town, there's a pipe, like, for salaries.
Okay.
Well, him and I have already talked about it, you know. I told him, I said, yeah, I can't find these.
What resolution
I think out.
you want to comment? Pre-file resolutions?
I don't know, I mean, the written.
Complaints about the resolutions? What do you got?
Undergraduate.
But, no, I said, if there's a pipe system there, I said, the problem is probably very few of them anywhere built, like a town or subdivision.
Things better than squirrel.
All the piping is the town's responsibility.
Clearly.
There's a pipe there.
Yeah,
it's the
it's on my
village.
list.
Okay, this doesn't have to do with any of the pre-filed resolutions. Can you wait towards the end of the meeting and then get up? Perfect. We'll call you up at that time. Okay. Okay. Appreciate it. Hey, Diane, can we get a copy of something?
I'm thinking that building, if they can find where that pipe is, it should be able to.
Like I say, I just, this would, just make a copy of that, and that's my address and.
Just
like
this
I-
one sheet, right?
Yeah, like I said,
East end. Yeah. So I mean, all I'm saying is that if they can physically see the out there,
Oh, did you go? Yeah, did you have fun house?
right, so now they can come in, get them in.
No more talking, Matt, no more talking.
Because
I'm talking to myself, no more
Really did
talking.
a lot of humor, that's I think.
Yeah, come into the pond, the camera at that,
telling Mary,
and I bet you find the problem in 2 seconds.
wherever you sit. And she goes, what's the show? I go, I don't know. Have something. She goes, oh, no. She knew what it was.
Yeah.
Just remember, I can't remember everything at the time, but it's only when I remember.
Hi, how are you?
Oh, that's right. You sent us a picture of that.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I'm like, oh.
Hey, no, chief. Whose property is that? Across, that comes across. This lady, the lady next door.
Like the whole thing, so I'm gonna see what
2 minutes from the after.
Take her.
yeah.
I didn't know anybody was upset they didn't get to see it.
Yeah, they submit our plan.
No. Oh, okay. Yes, same. Okay. Yes, ma'am.
Refresh, I get my paper ready for the old stuff.
Sure.
Scoop this thing.
Zoom back up.
From a kid.
Yeah, you want to just, sure.
So this is,
So before executive session?
we do it right now.
Bless you.
So the inlet's coming off this property?
Okay, sure.
Yeah. Well, it's all
Yes, please. Well, you know what, hang on, so for now, until it comes up, and then we'll pass it.
or
Then
put into
we'll-
the pond. Yeah.
Evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the town board meeting for Lancaster Town Board meeting for April 15th, 2024. We have Diane, roll call, please.
Councilmember Burkhart.
Here.
Councilmember Dickman.
Here.
Councilmember Schroeder. Here. Councilmember Studley.
Here.
Supervisor Leary.
Here. The pledge and invocation tonight will be Diane Terry.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please remain standing.
Rivers do not drink their own water. Trees do not eat their own fruit. The sun does not shine upon itself, and flowers do not spread their fragrance for themselves. Living for others is a rule of nature. We are all born to help each other, no matter how difficult it is. Life is good when you are happy, but much better when you make others happy because of you. From Pope Francis. Thank you.
Okay, at tonight's meeting, we have 25 pre-filed resolutions, 0 suspended resolutions, no public hearings, and we have 1 executive session under number 2, personnel matters. This board meeting will close in the memory of Norma Dembinski. Since we have no public hearings, we're going to get right into the opportunity for people to address the board. Persons addressing the town board on pre-filed suspended resolutions only. We have no suspended. The town board will hear the concerns of persons desiring to address the town board on any pre-filed or proposed suspended resolutions for a total period of 30 minutes. Anybody who wants to address the board on the pre-filed resolutions, please raise his or her hand, be recognized by the supervisor, give his or her name and address to the town board, to the town clerk. Speak directly to the town board members, not the audience, using the microphone provided. Speak once for 5 minutes or less, unless the town board grants a speaker an extension of this time limit. Is there anybody here who wants to address the town board tonight on any of the pre-filed resolutions? Going once? Going twice? Okay, apparently nobody wants to address the town board on the pre-filed resolutions. Again, there's no public hearing tonight. Do we have, for the town board members, do we have any official reports? No.
I have one for the library.
Okay.
So Ed Schiller and I met with the Library Board of Trustees this past Thursday. I mentioned in previous meetings that they are looking to update their staff room, their restroom. They want to have ADA compliant. There's a little break room, kitchen area, and a hallway. So we are, working with them. We should be bringing a resolution to the board hopefully next meeting. And also, nope, that's it. Sorry.
Okay. Any other reports from any town board members, committees, official reports? No? Okay. On April 27th, Town of Lancaster is hosting 2024 Arbor Day celebration at Westwood Park. Registration at the pavilion is 9:30 to 10 a.m. Program begins at 10 a.m., refreshments immediately following. So it's a great day to celebrate Arbor Day at Westwood Park. All right, since we have no other reports, let's jump right into the pre-filed resolutions. Resolution number 1 is mine. Be it resolved that the minutes of the regular meeting of the town board held April 1st, 2024 be and are hereby approved. Do I have a second?
Second.
On the question? On the roll.
Councilmember Burkhart?
Yes.
Councilmember Dickman?
Yes.
Councilmember Schroeder?
Yes.
Councilmember Studley?
Yes.
Supervisor Leary?
Yes. Resolution number 2, be it resolved that the following audited claims be and are hereby ordered paid from their respective accounts as per abstract to be filed in the office of the town clerk by the supervisor's office, to wit, check run number 04152024, total amount hereby authorized to be paid $838,449.20. Do I have a second?
Second.
On the question? On the roll.
Councilmember Burkhart?
Yes.
Councilmember Dickman?
Yes.
Councilmember Schroeder?
Yes.
Councilmember Studley?
Yes.
Supervisor Leary?
Yes. Councilmember Dickman, number 3, please.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. Honorable Board, I offer Resolution 3 for adoption. Resolved that the following building permit applications be and are hereby reaffirmed. And we have, bear with me for 1 second. We have 10 in the village, 44 permits in the town. And now therefore be it resolved that the building permit application herein coded CSW for conditional sidewalk waiver be and are hereby reaffirmed with a waiver of the town ordinance required for sidewalks. However, the waiver is granted upon the express condition that the town of Lancaster at any future date reserves the right to order sidewalk installation at the expense of the property owner.
Do we have a second?
Second.
On the question? I have a question. I didn't see any request to waive the requirement for sidewalks. Matt, is there any on this list?
There's none at this cycle.
Great, thank you very much. On the roll?
Councilmember Burkhart?
Yes.
Councilmember Dickman?
Yes.
Councilmember Schroeder?
Yes.
Councilmember Studley?
Yes.
Supervisor Leary?
Yes. Resolution number 4, whereas Schuster Construction LLC, located at 30 Gold Avenue in Depew, excuse me, New York, the contractor for the construction and installation of a new ADA access entrance ramp for the town of Lancaster's Lancaster District School Number 6, better known as the Little Red Schoolhouse, located at 3703 Bowen Road, has submitted change order number 1 in the amount of negative $150, a reduction, always good, to the town board for their approval based on the description previously provided to the town board. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the town board of the town of Lancaster hereby approves change order number 1 to Schuster Construction with respect to the outline description provided to the town board. Description of change order number 1, reduction in the cost due to elimination of the task for Schuster Construction to remove the old ramp prior to the construction and installation of the new ADA access ramp. Change order number 1, the original contract was $23,427. The reduction is $150, and the total cost now is $23,277. Be it further resolved that the supervisor be and is hereby authorized to execute this change order on behalf of the town of Lancaster. Do I have a second?
Second.
On the question, I believe our Recreation and Parks took the ramp away, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much for doing that. Okay. On the roll.
Councilmember Burkhart?
Yes.
Councilmember Dickman?
Yes.
Councilmember Schroeder?
Yes.
Councilmember Studley?
Yes.
Supervisor Leary?
Yes. Resolution number 5, whereas by email dated March 22nd, 2024, Town Attorney Thomas Fowler has requested adjustments be made to his department's portion of the town's 2024 adopted budget. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the following budget amendments be and are hereby approved in the 2024 adopted budget of the town of Lancaster. For law funds, under law funds, transfer $1,000 from contractual expenses professional services to contractual expenses office supplies, and transfer $1,000 from contractual expenses professional services to equipment, office, furniture, and equipment. And do I have a second?
Second.
On the question? On the roll.
Councilmember Burkhart?
Yes.
Councilmember Dickman?
Yes.
Councilmember Schroeder?
Yes.
Councilmember Studley?
Yes.
Supervisor Leary?
Yes. Okay, resolution number 6. Whereas Bruce Stutz, Parks Crew Chief for the town of Lancaster, by letter dated April 4th, 2024, has recommended the appointment of the following individuals to the position of part-time temporary seasonal in the Parks, Recreation, and Forestry Department for the spring-summer season of 2024. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the following individuals are hereby appointed to the following part-time temporary seasonal position in the Parks, Recreation, and Forestry Department, working not more than 19 3/4 hours per week, and that this being a part-time position provides no health insurance, sick days, vacation, or other fringe benefits not specifically mandated for part-time employees. They include Richard Fry, John Cook, William Chilielli, and Kyle Backer. Okay. Be it further resolved that the supervisor of the town of Lancaster shall be authorized to take all necessary action to implement the foregoing. Do I have a second?
Second.
On the question? On the roll.
Councilmember Burkhart?
Yes.
Councilmember Dickman?
Yes.
Councilmember Schroeder?
Yes.
Councilmember Studley?
Yes.
Supervisor Leary?
Yes. Resolution number 7. Okay. Whereas the Erie County Water Authority initially sought to relocate the fire hydrant, number M08-C56, located on Gunville Road, as indicated on drawing LNTN dated September 4th, 2020, prepared by the Erie County Water Authority and attached hereto. But after discussions with the town, it was determined that the best course of action would be to remove the hydrant due to its location not being easily accessible for necessary maintenance and use for emergency situations. And whereas the ECWA is requesting that a resolution authorizing the removal of the hydrant be prepared in order to provide both the town and the ECWA with a record of the hydrant being removed. And whereas the anticipated work will be performed by the Erie County Water Authority forces under paragraph 2.4 of the lease management agreement of 1997 and includes removal of the hydrant and the installation and relocation of a new valve and existing water line. And whereas there will be no cost incurred by the town for the removal of the hydrant, but the installation and relocation of the valve and water line will be performed at a cost not to exceed $5,000 and would be paid for with funds made available in the town's 2024 fire protection contractual expenses hydrant repairs budget line item 50-3410-483. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the town board of the town of Lancaster hereby authorizes the Erie County Water Authority to remove the fire hydrant located on Gunville Road as indicated on the drawing prepared on September 4th, 2020 by the Erie County Water Authority and attached hereto at no cost to the town of Lancaster, and be it further resolved that the town board also approves of the Erie County Water Authority to install and relocate a new valve and existing water line further south at a cost not to exceed $5,000, could be paid for with the funds made available in the town's 2024 fire protection contractual expenses hydrant repairs budget. Be it further resolved that the following amendment to the 2024 adopted budget be and is hereby approved to provide funds in the fire protection contractual expenses hydrant repairs budget due to the unanticipated expenses. So we are transferring $5,000 from contractual expenses hydrant rentals to contractual expenses hydrant repairs. Do I have a second?
Second.
On the question? On the roll?
Councilmember Burkhart?
Yes.
Councilmember Dickman?
Yes.
Councilmember Schroeder?
Yes.
Councilmember Studley?
Yes.
Supervisor Leary?
Yes. Resolution number 8. Okay. Whereas the town board of the town of Lancaster has determined that there is a need to establish a credit card usage policy in order to provide rules of conduct and guidelines for appropriate and efficient use of town credit cards by all authorized town of Lancaster employees. And whereas this policy sets each authorized card at a limit of one transaction per day not to exceed $1,000, and which can be adjusted as needed with submission of a written request to be reviewed and approved by the finance director or the town supervisor in partnership with the town's adopted procurement policy. And whereas the town board has given due review and consideration to the adoption of the credit card uses policy as prepared by the town's director of administration and finance and finds it to be in the best interest of the town to adopt said policy. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the town board of the town of Lancaster hereby adopts the credit card usage policy as presented to be effective immediately and which shall supersede any previous versions of such policy. And be it further resolved that the town credit card usage policy shall be distributed with the credit card to the town departments authorized to receive one, namely the town of Lancaster's Highway Department and the town of Lancaster's Police Department, and that each cardholder shall be required to sign for receipt of said policy, which will be kept on file in the office of the Director of Administration and Finance. Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, on the question, and I just want to point out that a lot of times the police department or the highway department will get stuck using their own monies, their own credit cards to pay for town-related expenses. Okay, so we want to take that out of their hands so they don't have to do that anymore. So we came up with the agreement to allow them to have credit cards as well. Okay? You're welcome. Okay, on the roll.
Councilmember Burkhart?
Yes.
Councilmember Dickman?
Yes.
Councilmember Schroeder?
Yes.
Councilmember Studley?
Yes.
Supervisor Leary?
Yes. Resolution number 9, whereas Director of Administration and Finance Nicholas Swanson, by email dated April 5th, 2024, which included requests from Parks Crew Chief Bruce Stutz, has recommended that adjustments be made to the town's 2024 adopted budget. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the following budget amendments be and are hereby approved in the 2024 adopted budget of the town of Lancaster. Parks Fund, transfer $10,000 from equipment, other motorized equipment, to disaster preparedness equipment, trucks, and related equipment. Under playgrounds and recreation, of appropriate, $750 for unanticipated revenue received by the town, to contractual expense mileage. Appropriate $1,800 from unanticipated revenue received by the town to contractual expense rentals, and appropriate $8,000 unanticipated revenue received by the town to contractual expense special celebrations. And so you know, we did get some money back from the Erie County Water Authority, who had been unfortunately billing us for a water line that we really weren't responsible for. So that's where some of this funding came from. Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, on the question? On the roll?
Councilmember Burkhart?
Yes.
Councilmember Dickman?
Yes.
Councilmember Schroeder?
Yes.
Councilmember Studley?
Yes.
Supervisor Leary?
Yes. Resolution number 10. Okay. Whereas John Pilato, Highway Superintendent of the Town of Lancaster, by letter dated April 9, 2024, has appointed Brian Kurtz to fill the open position of laborer grade number 1 in the Town of Lancaster Highway Department pursuant to New York State Highway Law. Now therefore be it resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Lancaster hereby recognizes the appointment of Brian Kurtz of Lancaster, New York, to the position of laborer grade 1 in the Town of Lancaster Highway Department effective May 6, 2024, contingent upon approval by Erie County Department of Personnel, and that such appointment shall be subject to all applicable provisions of the collective negotiation agreement between the Town of Lancaster, excuse me, and the CSEA Blue Collar Union, and all applicable provisions of law. And be it further resolved that Brian Kurtz of Lancaster, New York, is hereby appointed to the full-time position of laborer grade 1 in the Town of Lancaster Highway Department at an hourly salary of $25.93 on step, which represents 80% of the full salary of $32.41 per hour. Be it further resolved that the supervisor of the Town of Lancaster shall be authorized to take all necessary action to implement the foregoing. Do I have a second?
Second.
On the question? On the roll?
Councilmember Burkhart?
Yes.
Councilmember Dickman?
Yes.
Councilmember Schroeder?
Yes.
Councilmember Studley?
Yes.
Supervisor Leary?
Yes, and Brian is with us tonight. Brian, congratulations. Do you want to stand up so that people can see you? Brian brings a lot of great experience to the town, and we appreciate you coming over, Brian. Good luck. Okay, Resolution 11, Councilmember Burkhart, and 12.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor and Honorable Town Board. I'm offering Resolutions 11 and 12 for adoption. Whereas the Town of Lancaster Highway Superintendent John Pilato, by letter dated March 28, 2024, has advised the Town Board that the Highway Department no longer has use for a Greco 3900 line laser, 2 guns with laser guidance, and with approximately 141 hours, and is asking that the Town Board deem this item to be surplus equipment and permit it to be offered on an online auction. And whereas the Town Board has given due consideration to the request of the Highway Superintendent and deems it a judicious decision to declare the beforementioned Greco 3900 line laser to be surplus equipment and permit placement of said item on an online auction. Now therefore be it resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Lancaster hereby grants the request of John Pilato, Highway Superintendent, and declares the Greco 3900 line laser, 2 guns with laser guidance to be surplus equipment, and authorizes the Highway Superintendent to place said item up for public bid at an online auction with Auctions International, Big Tree Road, East Aurora, beginning April 18th, 2024, and concluding on May 3rd, 2024, with the funds received from said auction to be made payable to the Town of Lancaster and delivered to the Town Supervisor's office.
Do we have a second?
Second.
On the question? On the roll?
Councilmember Burkhart?
Yes.
Councilmember Dickman?
Yes.
Councilmember Schroeder?
Yes.
Councilmember Studley?
Yes.
Supervisor Leary?
Yes.
Resolution 12. Whereas John Pilato, Town of Lancaster's Highway Superintendent, by letter dated April 9th, 2024, has requested authorization to purchase 1 new Graco line laser V200DC HPA, 2 auto guns Striper, and a 200 HS laser guide for use by the Highway Department. And whereas the above referenced Graco line laser is available from Sherwin-Williams, the authorized vendor under contract number 091323 with Sourcewell, a local government and procurement collaborative of the state of Minnesota, of which the Town of Lancaster is a member and will be piggybacking off which eliminates the need for competitive bidding pursuant to Section 103-16 of General Municipal Law. And whereas the Highway Superintendent has requested that the Town of Lancaster award the purchase of the Graco Line Laser 2 guns striper and a 200 HS laser guide to Sherwin-Williams for an amount not to exceed $20,998 per their quote 721-6220, valid April 2nd to April 30th, 2024. Now therefore, be it resolved as the follows, that the Town Board of the Town of Lancaster hereby approves the purchase of one new Graco Line Laser V200 DC HPA 2 auto guns striper and a 200 HS laser guide from Sherwin-Williams, the authorized vendor under contract 091323 with Sourcewell, a local government and procurement collaborative of the state of Minnesota, of which the Town of Lancaster is a member and will be piggybacking off of, as proposed by the Highway Superintendent John Pilato, for an amount not to exceed $20,998, which will be paid for with funds available in the following 2 highway accounts within the town's adopted 2024 budget: general repairs, contractual expenses, paving and striping, line item 13-5110-0457, equipment traffic signs, line item 13-5110-0210, or 0210, and with funds received from the online auction of their Graco 3900 line laser.
Do we have a second?
Second.
On the question? On the roll?
Councilmember Burkhart?
Yes.
Councilmember Dickman?
Yes.
Councilmember Schroeder?
Yes.
Councilmember Studley?
Yes.
Supervisor Leary?
Yes. Councilmember Studley, number 13, please.
Thank you. Mr. Supervisor and Honorable Town Board, I am offering Resolution 13 for adoption. Whereas Bruce Stutz, the town's parks crew chief, has made the town aware of the need to replace the electric baseboard within the bathrooms of the Lancaster Library located at 5466 Broadway. And whereas the parks crew chief obtained a proposal from Horbett Heating and Cooling to remove the existing equipment and install new electric baseboard consisting of 1 3-foot section, 1 6-foot section, and 2 thermostats in the bathrooms of the Lancaster Library in accordance with the Town of Lancaster's procurement policy. And whereas by letter dated March 27th, 2024, Bruce Stutz has recommended that the Town Board of the Town of Lancaster award the Lancaster Library baseboard replacement project to Horbett Heating and Cooling for a cost of $1,900 per the proposal dated January 5th, 2024. And whereas funding for the project is available from the town's 2024 Library Lancaster Branch contractual expenses, repairs, and maintenance budget line. Now therefore, be it resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Lancaster hereby accepts and authorizes the Supervisor of the Town of Lancaster to execute the proposal for the removal of the existing equipment and install new electric baseboards in the bathrooms of the Lancaster Library from Horbett Heating and Cooling, in accordance with their proposal dated January 5th, 2024, for an amount not to exceed $1,900, and which will be paid for with the funds from the town's 2024 Library Lancaster Branch contractual expenses, repairs, and maintenance budget line.
And do we have a second?
Second.
On the question? On the roll?
Councilmember Burkhart?
Yes.
Councilmember Dickman?
Yes.
Councilmember Schroeder?
Yes.
Councilmember Studley?
Yes.
Supervisor Leary?
Yes. Councilmember Schroeder's number 14 and 15, please.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. I move resolution number 14. Whereas 716 Site Contractors, Inc., 4901 Eckerd Road, Hamburg, New York, the company awarded the contract for the construction of the TLN 13 water system improvement at Bowen Road and Genesee Street, has submitted change order 1 to the town board for their approval to increase the amount of the original contract by $39,900 based on the email authorization previously provided by the town board. Now therefore be it resolved that the town board of the town of Lancaster hereby approves change order 1 from 716 Site Contractors, Inc. with respect to the outlined additional work previously authorized via email by the town board. Description of change order number 1. The original contract amount was solely for the TLN 13 Bowen Road and Genesee Street project. However, Edward Schiller of Williams Judd Associates, the town's consulting engineer, via emails dated November 21st, 2023, sought and received town board approval to hire the same contractor to install up to 450 linear feet of 2-inch poly water line and appurtenances to serve the sprinkler system at Westwood Park's Brickyard Ball Diamond. Due to an administrative error in 2023, a resolution was never prepared to memorialize the approval prior to the work being started. Change order number 1, the original contract sum was $1,312,785, increasing by the change order amount $39,900. So the new contract sum, including the change order, will be $1,352,685. Be it further resolved that the supervisor be and is hereby authorized to execute this change order on behalf of the town of Lancaster.
Do we have a second?
Second.
On the question? On the roll?
Councilmember Burkhart.
Yes.
Councilmember Dickman.
Yes.
Councilmember Schroeder.
Yes.
Councilmember Studley.
Yes.
Supervisor Leary.
Yes.
And I move resolution number 15, whereas Fire Safety Systems, Inc., 525 Arrow Drive, Suite 200, Buffalo, New York, the contractor for the installation of a new video intercom at the Town of Lancaster's Youth Bureau entrance located at 200 Oxford Avenue, has submitted change order number 1 in the amount of $850 to the town board for their approval, based on the description previously provided to the board. Now therefore be it resolved that the town board of the Town of Lancaster hereby approves change order 1 to Fire Safety Systems, Inc. with respect to the outline descriptions provided to the board. Description of change order 1. The additional cost is due to adding of an additional 7-inch color video intercom station for security purposes. So the original contract sum was $2,672.49, with the change order sum of $850, and the new contract sum will be $3,522.49. Be it further resolved that the supervisor be and is hereby authorized to execute this change order on behalf of the town of Lancaster.
Do we have a second?
Second.
On the question? On the roll?
Councilmember Burkhart.
Yes.
Councilmember Dickman.
Yes.
Councilmember Schroeder.
Yes.
Councilmember Studley.
Yes.
Supervisor Leary.
Yes. Councilmember Studley, number 16, please.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor and Honorable Town Board. I am offering resolution number 16 for adoption, whereas a suburban town, the town of Lancaster, has the authority and obligation to set safe speed limits on town roads. And whereas the town board of the town of Lancaster deems it in the public interest to make certain amendments to the town ordinance entitled Vehicle and Traffic Ordinance of the Town of Lancaster, County of Erie, State of New York, designated as Chapter 350 of the Code of the Town of Lancaster. And whereas the town board of the town of Lancaster is considering a revision of the code and a reduction of speed limits on the town roads to 30 miles per hour as follows. Number 1, Warner Road for northbound and southbound traffic from Pleasant View Drive to Green Meadow Drive. And number 2, Stutzman Road for eastbound, westbound, northbound, and southbound traffic between Genesee Street and Pleasant View Drive. Now, therefore, be it resolved that pursuant to Section 130 of the Town Law of the State of New York, a public hearing on proposed amendments to Part 2, General Legislation, Chapter 350, Vehicle and Traffic Ordinance, Article 9, Section 350-12 of the Code of the Town of Lancaster, County of Erie, State of New York, will be held at Town Hall, 21 Central Avenue, Lancaster, New York, on the 6th of May, 2024, at 7:05 p.m. local time, and that notice of the time and place of such hearing will be published in the Lancaster Bee, being a newspaper of general circulation in said town, and will be posted on the town bulletin board, which notice shall be in the form attached hereto and made part hereof.
Do we have a second?
Second.
On the question? On the roll?
Councilmember Burkhart.
Yes.
Councilmember Dickman.
Yes.
Councilmember Schroeder.
Yes.
Councilmember Studley.
Yes.
Supervisor Leary.
Yes. And we hope to see a lot of people in here on May 6th at 7:05 p.m. Okay, resolution number 17. Councilmember Schroeder, please submit 17 and 18.
Thank you. Mr. Supervisor, I move Resolution 17 to the Honorable Board. Whereas the Town of Lancaster's Parks Crew Chief Bruce Stutz, by letter dated April 5, 2024, has requested the purchase of one new and unused 2023 Skag 61-inch Cheetah mower for use by the Parks Department. And whereas the above referenced mower is available from Ken's Service and Sales, Inc., the local dealer for Skag Power Equipment, the authorized vendor under contract with Sourcewell Local Government and Procurement Collaborative of the State of Minnesota, of which the town of Lancaster is a member and will be piggybacking off of, which eliminates the need for competitive bidding pursuant to Section 103-16 of the General Municipal Law. And whereas the cost for one new and unused 2023 Skag 61-inch Cheetah mower is $12,284 per Ken Service and Sales, Inc., bill of sale, deal number 4261, dated March 15, 2024. Now therefore be it resolved as follows, that the Town Board of the Town of Lancaster hereby approves the purchase of one new and unused 2023 Skag 61-inch Cheetah mower from Ken Service and Sales, Inc., the local dealer for Skag Power Equipment and authorized vendor under contract 031121 SCG with Sourcewell, a local government and procurement collaborative of the state of Minnesota, of which the town of Lancaster is a member and will be piggybacking off of, as proposed by the Parks Crew Chief Bruce Stutz, for an amount not to exceed $12,284, and which will be paid for with funds available in the town's 2024 Parks Equipment Other Motorized Equipment budget line item.
Okay, do we have a second?
Second.
On the question? On the roll?
Councilmember Burkhart?
Yes.
Councilmember Dickman?
Yes.
Councilmember Schroeder?
Yes.
Councilmember Studley?
Yes.
Supervisor Leary?
Yes.
Thank you again. I move resolution number 18. Whereas J. O'Connell and Associates, Inc., Grants Consultants, a grant writing consultant firm, has furnished an agreement to the town of Lancaster, which sets forth the grant research, writing, and consulting services to be provided to the town and the fee schedule associated for said services. And whereas the town board and the town attorney have reviewed the aforementioned agreement and deems it to be in the town's and public's best interest to retain J. O'Connell and Associates, Inc., Grants Consultants, to provide grant research, writing, and consulting services for a monthly fee of $3,000 commencing April 15, 2024, and terminating April 14, 2026, in accordance with the terms and conditions contained therein. Now therefore be it resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Lancaster hereby authorizes the Town Supervisor to execute the agreement with J. O'Connell and Associates, Inc.'s Grants Consultants, with offices located at 10646 Main Street, Clarence, New York, for the purpose of providing grant research, writing, and consultant services to the Town of Lancaster for a monthly fee of $3,000 commencing April 15, 2024, and terminating April 14, 2026, in accordance with the terms and conditions contained therein. And be it further resolved that payment for these services will be made with funds available in the town's adopted general government support grants consulting expense budget line item.
Do we have a second?
Second.
On the question? On the roll?
Councilmember Burkhart?
Yes.
Councilmember Dickman?
Yes.
Councilmember Schroeder?
Yes.
Councilmember Studley?
Yes.
Supervisor Leary?
Yes. Councilmember Dickman, number 19, please.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor, Honorable Board. I offer Resolution 19. Whereas the Town Board of the Town of Lancaster held a public hearing on May 16, 2022, upon the application of Anderson's Frozen Custard by Keith Anderson for a special use permit to allow Anderson's Frozen Custard to operate an indoor dining area, an outdoor dining area, and a food service drive-through on the premise located at 4855 Transit Road. Whereas Matt Fischione, Town Code Enforcement Officer, completed an on-site inspection and found the property to be compliant with the original conditions of the special use permit per his letter dated March 19, 2024, and recommended issuance of a special use permit. Now therefore be it resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Lancaster does hereby grant a special use permit to Anderson's Frozen Custard to operate an indoor dining area, an outdoor dining area, and a food service drive-through on the premise located at 4855 Transit Road, the Town of Lancaster, upon the terms and conditions set forth in the zoning ordinance for a period of April 4th, 2024 through April 3rd, 2025, and that the applicant will continue in compliance with the conditions as set forth, special use permits, Section 400-18 General Commercial of the Code of the Town of Lancaster, as long as the applicant continues to engage in said business and to any additional conditions listed. And those would be, the permit is to be renewed every year at no additional cost. The applicant will authorize a representative from the building inspector's office to enter upon reasonable notice. The applicant will provide proof of New York State business license, and no amplified sound will be transmitted to the outside dining area.
We have a second.
Second.
On the question? On the roll?
Councilmember Burkhart?
Yes.
Councilmember Dickman?
Yes.
Councilmember Schroeder?
Yes.
Councilmember Studley?
Yes.
Supervisor Leary?
Yes. Resolution number 20. Whereas Terrence Boyle of Nussbaumer and Clark Incorporated, on behalf of Jim Molka of West Her Auto Dealership, has prepared and submitted a site plan amendment application consisting of drawing C-101 dated August 8, 2023, C-102 dated August 8, 2023, with a revision date of October 13, 2023, C-103 dated August 8, 2023, with a revision date of October 13, 2023, C-104 dated August 8, 2023, with a revision date of September 29, 2023, C-105 dated August 8, 2023, with a revision date of October 13, 2023, and received October 19, 2023. Take an extra 3 out of there. And drawing EX-1 dated August 8, 2023, and received August 21, 2023, for the proposed demolition of the existing building and expansion of the parking lot to add 44 parking spaces for new vehicle storage, which includes drainage and landscape improvements on a 3.43 acre parcel located at 6501 Transit Road, SBL number 93.05-1-17.11 in the town of Lancaster. And whereas the site plan for this project was submitted to the planning board and was recommended for approval at the November 1, 2023 meeting, and whereas the planning board completed an environmental review on April 19, 2023, in conformance with seeker regulations, and the town board, acting as lead agency, issued a negative declaration on May 1st, 2023, and whereas the project changes do not present any significant adverse environmental impacts not previously evaluated, therefore rescission is not appropriate, an amendment is not necessary. For that reason, the town board hereby reaffirms the previously issued negative declaration for this project. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the town board of the town of Lancaster hereby approves the amended site plan prepared and submitted by Terrence Boyle of Nussbaumer and Clark on behalf of Jim Molka of Wester Audi Dealership, consisting of the drawings as stated previously and the revisions as stated previously, and received for the proposed demolition of the existing building and expansion of the parking lot to add 44 parking spaces for new vehicle storage, which includes drainage and landscape improvements on the plus or minus 3.43 acre parcel located at 6501 Transit Road in the town of Lancaster, with the following conditions. Number one, contractor to provide an as-built survey to the building department prior to any certificates of compliance or occupancy being issued. 2, private improvement permits are required. Number 3, flood plan permits are required for the northern portion of the paved area. And number 4, demolition permit is required for removal of the storage building. Do I have a second?
Second.
On the question? On the roll?
Councilmember Burkhart?
Yes.
Councilmember Dickman?
Yes.
Councilmember Schroeder?
Yes.
Councilmember Studley?
Yes.
Supervisor Leary?
Yes. Councilmember Burkhart, number 21, please.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor and Honorable Town Board. I am offering Resolution 21 for adoption. Whereas John Maluka, Director of Facilities at West Her, Southwestern Boulevard, Orchard Park, has applied to the Town Board of the Town of Lancaster for a permit for private improvements upon real property in the Town of Lancaster within 6501 Transit Road. And whereas the town engineer of the Town of Lancaster has certified on the following permit application that he has reviewed the improvement plans and permit application for the installation of the private improvements requested, and that they conform to the ordinances of the Town of Lancaster. Now therefore be it resolved that the private improvement permit application number 855 for 6501 Transit Road, Bowmansville, which is a permit for private improvements for parking lot expansion to include raising approximately 6,000 square feet, commercial building, installing an underground detention system of approximately 5,500 square feet, install of additional stormwater system and connection to underground feature, paving of approximately 15,800 square feet of new pavement surfacing at 6501 Transit Road.
And do we have a second?
Second.
On the question? On the roll?
Councilmember Burkhart.
Yes.
Councilmember Dickman.
Yes.
Councilmember Schroeder.
Yes.
Councilmember Studley.
Yes.
Supervisor Leary.
Yes. Resolution number 22, whereas Fred Donato, Donato Homes Incorporated, has submitted an amended site plan application which contains a topographical survey prepared by GPI Engineering dated July 6, 2021, and the following drawings, all prepared by Carmina Wood Design, cover sheet dated November 2023, which includes C-001, C-002, C-100, C-101, C-102, C-103, C-200, C-300, C-301, C-302, C-400, C-401, C-402, C-403, C-404, C-405, C-406, C-407, C-500, C-501, L-100, MPT-1, MPT-2, MPT-3, and all drawings were received December 17, 2023, for the proposed construction of 20 storage unit buildings, an office building, and 4 warehouse shop office buildings with 43 parking spaces, and includes a stormwater management system to be located at 5841 Genesee Street, SBL number 94.00-2-11.11 in the town of Lancaster, and whereas the site plan for this project was submitted to the planning board and was recommended for approval at their February 21st, 2024 meeting, and whereas the town planning board completed an environmental review for 8.4 acres of the project on January 19th, 2022, in conformance with seeker regulations, and the town board acting as lead agency issued a negative declaration on April 18, 2022, and whereas the town planning board has completed an environmental review for 2 additional acres for a total of 10.4 for this amended site plan project on February 21st, 2024, in conformance with seeker regulations, and the town board acting as lead agency issued a negative declaration on March 4th, 2024. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the town board of the town of Lancaster hereby approves the site plan submitted by Fred Donato of Donato Homes Incorporated with a topographical survey prepared by GPI Engineering dated July 6, 2021, and then the drawings as mentioned previously for the proposed, and all drawings were received December 13, 2023, for the proposed construction of 20 storage unit buildings, an office building, and 4 warehouse shop office buildings with 43 parking spaces, and includes a stormwater management system, and again, to be located at 5841 Genesee Street in the town of Lancaster with the following conditions. Number 1, PIP permit will be required to initiate construction. Number 2, contractor to provide an as-built survey to the building department prior to any certificates of compliance, occupancy being issued. And number 3, the special use permit issued December 5th, 2022 should be amended to reflect the changes. Do I have a second?
Second.
On the question? On the roll?
Councilmember Burkhart.
Yes.
Councilmember Dickman.
Yes.
Councilmember Schroeder.
Yes.
Councilmember Studley.
Yes.
Supervisor Leary.
Yes. Councilmember Burkhart, number 21, please. I'm sorry, number 20. Yeah, 23. Yeah, 23.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor and Honorable Town Board. I am offering resolutions 23 and 24 for adoption. Whereas the Town of Lancaster has made application for and been awarded the New York State DHS FEMA grant funding for its Ellicott Creek flood mitigation project, which requires that the town contribute 10% of the cost of FEMA will cover the remaining 90%. And whereas Ed Schiller of William Shutt Associates, the town's consulting engineer, submitted a request for qualifications to 3 engineering firms for designing of the Ellicott Creek flood bench. And whereas by memo dated March 21st, 2024, Ed Schiller only received 1 response to the request, and that was from Gomez and Sullivan Engineers, DPC, for $161,300. And whereas the town attorney has reviewed the terms and conditions of the proposed agreement and given it his approval by memo dated March 22nd, 2024. Now therefore, be it resolved as follows. Number one, that the Town Board of the Town of Lancaster does hereby approve and authorize the supervisor to execute the agreement dated February 21st, 2024, between the Town of Lancaster and Gomez and Sullivan Engineers, TPC, Seneca Turnpike, New Hartford, New York, for a lump sum price of $161,300 per the terms and conditions contained therein and which has been approved by the town attorney. And two, per the terms and conditions within the grant awarded, the town will be responsible to pay 10% of the total cost, $16,130, which will be made with funds available in the capital project budget to be created. And three, this agreement shall commence immediately and have a targeted completion date of December 2025.
Do we have a second?
Second.
On the question, and our town engineer, if you could describe what a flood bench is for us, please?
Sure. They'll look at areas along the creek to see if there's areas that during flooding, they can temporarily divert water to avoid high flows downstream. And then the design is such that once the storm passes and the flows reduce, then that water can be let back into the creek. So it just kind of moderates the flow going down the creek during a storm event.
Thank you very much. On the roll?
Councilmember Burkhart?
Yes.
Councilmember Dickman?
Yes.
Councilmember Schroeder?
Yes.
Councilmember Studley?
Yes.
Supervisor Leary?
Yes. Councilmember Burkhart, number 24 also?
Thank you. Whereas the town of Lancaster is eligible for a reimbursement of qualified costs from Bridge New York funding grant for the Siebert Road Culvert Over Drainage Swale, PIN 5765.12 project, and whereas, as is required by the grant, Ed Schiller of William Shutt Associates, the town's consulting engineer, submitted a request for qualifications to 12 firms that are on the Erie County LDSA list for the designing, bidding, and construction services for the replacement of the Siebert Road culvert. And whereas by memo dated March 29th, 2024, Ed Schiller received 2 responses back, which he reviewed with Councilmember Burkhart and Highway Superintendent Pilato, and have recommended awarding the contract to Urban Engineers of New York for a total cost of $239,061 per their cost of services, Revision 1 dated January 24, 2024. And whereas by email dated April 11, 2024, the town attorney has reviewed the proposed agreement and offers no objection to executing it. Now therefore be it resolved as follows. The town board of the town of Lancaster does hereby approve and authorizes the supervisor to execute the agreement further identified by revision date December 2010 with Urban Engineers of New York, DPC, Buffalo, New York, in acceptance of the terms and conditions contained therein for a total cost of $239,061.
Do we have a second?
Second.
On the question? On the roll?
Councilmember Burkhart?
Yes.
Councilmember Dickman?
Yes.
Councilmember Schroeder?
Yes.
Councilmember Studley?
Yes.
Supervisor Leary?
Yes. Resolution number 25. Whereas Phil Hopper of O'Reilly Auto Enterprises, located at 233 South Patterson Avenue, Springville, Missouri, has submitted a site plan application consisting of drawings CT1.0 dated June 2nd, 2023, with a revision date of March 6, 2024, CT2.0 dated June 2nd, 2023, with a revision date of March 6, 2024, DI.1 dated June 2nd, 2023, with a revision date of March 6, 2024, CI.1 dated June 2nd, 2023, with a revision date of March 6, 2024, C2.1 dated June 2nd, 2023, with a revision date of March 6, 2024, C2.2 dated June 2nd, 2023, with a revision date of March 6, 2024, C2.3 dated June 2nd, 2023, C2.4 dated June 2nd, 2023, with a revision date of March 6, 2024, C2.5 dated June 2nd, 2023, with a revision date of March 6, 2024, C2.6 dated June 2nd, 2023, with a revision date of March 6, 2024, C2.7 dated June 2nd, 2023, with a revision date of March 6, 2024, C2.8 dated June 2nd, 2023, with a revision date of March 6, 2024, C2.9 dated June 2nd, 2023, with a revision date of March 6, 2024, C2.10 dated June 2nd, 2023, with a revision date of March 6, 2024, C3.1 dated June 2nd, 2023, with a revision date of February 6, 2024, C3.2 dated June 2nd, 2023, with a revision date of March 6, 2024, C4.1 dated June 2nd, 2023, with a revision date of March 6, 2024, C4.2 dated June 2nd, 2023, with a revision date of March 6, 2024, C4.3 dated June 2nd, 2023, with a revision date of March 6, 2024, L1.0 dated June 2nd, 2023, with a revision date of March 6, 2024, L1.1 dated June 2nd, 2023, L1.2 dated June 2nd, 2023, with a revision date of March 6, 2024, all prepared by Bowler Engineering and received March 14th, 2024, for the proposed construction of a plus or minus 7,450 square foot retail automotive store, which includes demolition of the existing single-family residence and infrastructure, and incorporates a parking lot, landscaping, site lighting, signage, and stormwater management facility per New York DEC standards, to be located at 5057 Transit Road, SBL number 115.09-1-41 in the town of Lancaster. And whereas the site plan for this project was submitted to the planning board and was recommended for approval at their September 20th, 2023 meeting, and whereas the planning board completed an environmental review on September 20th, 2023, in conformance with seeker regulations, and the town board, acting as lead agency, issued a negative declaration on October 2nd, 2023. Now be it resolved that the town board of the town of Lancaster hereby approves the site plan application submitted by Phil Hopper of O'Reilly Auto Enterprises, consisting of the drawings that I stated before, all prepared by Bowler Engineering and received March 14th, 2024, for the proposed construction of a plus or minus 7,450 square foot retail automotive store, which includes demolition of the existing single-family residence and infrastructure, and incorporates a parking lot, landscaping, site lighting, signage, and stormwater management facility per New York DEC standards, again located at 5057 Transit Road, with the following conditions. 1, contractor to provide an as-built survey to the building department prior to any certificates of compliance or occupancy being issued. 2, private improvement permits are required. 3, demolition permit is required for removal of the storage building. Do I have a second?
Second.
On the question? On the roll?
Councilmember Burkhart?
Yes.
Councilmember Dickman?
Yes.
Councilmember Schroeder?
Yes.
Councilmember Studley?
Yes.
Supervisor Leary?
Yes. Okay. Okay, we're going to do communications. Okay, number 183 is a resolution on 4-1. Number 184, Planning Committee. Number 185, Planning Committee. 186, Planning Committee. 187, Resolution 415 tonight. Number 188, Resolution tonight. Number 189, Resolution on 4-1. Number 190, received and filed. Number 191, received and filed. 192, received and filed. 193, received and filed. 194, received and filed. 195, for resolution. 196, Planning Committee. 197, Planning Committee. 198, Planning Committee. 199, resolution tonight. 200, resolution tonight. 201, Drainage Committee. 202, resolution on tonight. 203, resolution tonight. 204, resolution tonight. 205, Planning Committee. 206, received and filed. 207, received and filed. 208, received and filed. 209, Planning Committee. 210, received and filed. Okay, now we come to the point in the meeting where individuals can be heard on any topic that they want to talk about. So the town board will hear the concerns of persons desiring to address the town board on any town of Lancaster subject for the total period of 30 minutes. Please raise your hand and be recognized by the supervisor. Give your name and address to the town clerk. Speak directly to the town board members, not the audience, using the microphone provided, and speak once for 5 minutes or less, unless the town board grants a speaker an extension of this time limit. Sir, I think you were first. And we got some.
Ladies and gentlemen of the town board, please hear this complaint. I got a bill from National Fuel on Friday, and today when I went to pay it, they, when I went to pay this utility bill, I'm told that to give me your telephone number to the cashier. I told them I don't have a telephone, so I'm not able to, so they says, well, you're not able to pay your utility bill. This places me in a deliberate position of a requirement of paying my utility bill. This is a public service under government regulation. I've been paying my utility bills in this location for the last 60 years, on time, with no problem. So I'm asking the help in this, about this problem. I don't know what you can do about it, but I want you to know that this is what citizens pay going through. I'm a Korean War veteran. I've been in the USMC, New York State Active Service League for the last 25 years. Much like in the regular Marine Corps, I was wounded. I have a wound, shot twice. One to the ankle and one shot wound and through the joint. And I now have I live with a catheter installed by the VA hospital, and above requires daily careful attention. So I'm very occupied by just taking care of my health, you know? And so I'm asking this board for, well, to know that this is what's happening to a citizen here in our location. Thank you, sirs.
John, where did you try to pay the bill?
So I'm deaf on one side. What?
Where did you try to pay the bill where they wouldn't, they asked you for the phone? At the Tops?
Yes,
Right on Broadway?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And John, if you would, into the microphone, state your full name and address for us?
And my address, sir, is, my address is 104 North Avenue, Lancaster, New York, 14086.
Thank you.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
John, is it Mick Hall?
I'm very active in my league in West Seneca, because there's more Marines that are concentration. There's more Marines that are, they come from all over, but that's what we need,
Great.
twice a month.
Is,
And then also wounded veterans too, and for that too.
is it Mick Hall or Hall?
Meanwhile.
Mehall, M-E-H-A?
M-A-H-A-L.
M-A-H-A-L-L. Thank you, John, and once again, thank you for your service. Okay, anybody else wants to address the town board you're all set. Does anybody have any ideas? Can we make some phone calls and see what the rules are there?
Yeah, and which Tops was it?
Tops on Broadway?
On Broadway, do you know Plaza?
Yeah.
So I also will air this in the window veterans, I'll go back to that.
Okay.
And, I'll let them know about it, and then people downtown at the elder law, I'll let them know also the problems I'm having.
Okay. We'll try to, somebody here will try to stop at Tops.
I know management over there.
Do you?
Yeah,
Okay,
so
great.
I'll call management at that Tops. I will call management at that Tops and have a discussion with them.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
No problem. Thank you for your service.
Thank you. Anybody else want to address the town board at this time on any subject? Come on up, ma'am.
Hello. Thank you for the opportunity, Supervisor and the board, to let me speak. My name is Patty Meckes, and I reside at 5270 Newton Road, Orchard Park. The reason I'm here to speak tonight is I am with the Cautile Group. It's Citizens Against Wind Turbines in Lake Erie. Our group has been established for over 15 years, and our mission is to preserve and protect Lake Erie. We have been working actively with the Assembly, Congressman, and Senate, and we do currently have bills drafted in Albany. Just a little bit about us. We've been organized over 15 years, and we are currently going to each of the towns for a town board to ask for a resolution against wind turbines in Lake Erie. Now, you might ask, well, why am I here in Lancaster? Well, we're not on the lake shore, but it affects our water. 11 million people get their water from Lake Erie. So if they go to dredge and to put these turbines, and these turbines are huge. They're as tall as the Seneca One Tower. And if they go to put these in, they have to jet plow the bed of the lake that's been settled for over 50 years, which will resuspend all the heavy metal toxins. So it's just not environmentally good for our water. You might ask, well, why am I here? Well, you might get your water from Lake Erie. Some of them, some people do, some people have wells. But other people, it's recreation, it's boating and fishing. So if they put these turbines in the lake, you cannot go between these turbines. There's a 3,200 exclusion area where you could not go. So it would affect water, recreation, boating, fishing. It affects our environment, the birds, the bats, the bees. Those birds don't actually fly into a turbine, they get sucked in. Those turbine blades operate at a high rate of speed. The turbine blades are not recyclable. So they're diesel trucking them all the way to Arizona and New Mexico and burying them underground, which is not environmentally friendly. So I'm asking if you would take some time, and I've provided the board with all the information. I sent it ahead of time in an email, and if you would just review and consider standing with the rest of the towns. And just real quick, currently this started on April 26th with Hamburg, West Seneca, I gotta put my glasses on, Eden, Concord, North Collins, Silver Creek, Alden, Collins, the town of Dunkirk, the town of Brant, Sheridan, Pomfret, Colden, and the last to pass on 411 was Marilla. So I've been to Clarence and asked for the consideration of their board. Also, County Legislator John Mills is working on a resolution for Erie County, and Legislator Tom Harmon is working on that for Chautauqua County. So, does anyone have any questions?
Is there a petition that you'd like?
No, I'm just asking for the town to put forth a resolution.
Memorial resolution too.
Right, and that would be along with the other towns. This resolution also goes to the governor, Speaker of the House Heastie, senators, assemblymen, it goes countywide and right to Albany.
So they're proposing within the lake itself.
Yes, 2.5 to 3 miles out in the water, actually in the water.
The Great Lakes serve drinking water to a majority of the
Right, no, I was just saying, like, how far out? 'Cause why would you,
About 3 miles out,
okay.
yeah. Anybody else?
Patty, can you spell your last name, please?
Meckes.
Thank you.
You're welcome, and thank you for the opportunity to present tonight. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you.
And I'll just hand you these and you could pass them over.
Absolutely.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Is there anybody else who wants to address the town board? John Trojanowski from the Youth Bureau. Different John.
I wanted to extend a personal invitation to the town board to our Hall of Fame induction ceremony on May 2nd at the Twin District Fire Hall. We have 20 youth who will be inducted for their personal growth and service to the community, and 2 adults for their service to the youth of our community. I wasn't able to be here earlier because I was at the Youth Bureau Senior Citizen Joint Intergenerational Program at the Senior Center and went very well. I was so happy to see our teens mixing and mingling and working with the seniors. That was a real nice evening, you know, that the 2 groups were working together and having fun with. Also, our trivia night will be this Thursday at St. Mary's High School. 3 people from the town board will be on a team. There are 32 teams this year. Supervisor Leary, Town Clerk Diane Terranova, and Council Member Melissa Studley will be participating. Looking forward to that.
Thank you very much. I'll be the weak link there, but I will be there. Okay, does anybody else want to address the town board at this time? Yes, ma'am. Come on up.
Supervisor Leary, all members of the council. My name is Tammy Patricia Tideswell, and I reside at 37 Milton Drive in Lancaster. It's not lost on me as a 30-year veteran of the U.S. Navy that I now have non-navigable waters in my backyard, and they're threatening to breach the home at this point. I've been trying to work with the village and the town for the better part of 5 years to resolve the matter. I believe that Ms. Terranova has been kind enough to share with you a one-page brief sheet and photographs that were literally taken this weekend from the latest rain event. I think the resolution is fairly simple. It really started back in the early 90s when the town of Lancaster built a retention pond referred to as Milton Pond. Milton Pond it's huge. It was prepared for a 100-year flood. Milton Pond itself has never been a problem. The pond is surrounded by a berm. And now what happens when the water comes down Harvey and Milton Drive, it hits the corner of my property and it creates a flood. It's not only flooding my yard, it's flooding another neighbor on Milton Drive, a neighbor or 2 on Harvey Drive, and it's even breaching onto Irvingwood, which is an adjacent road. I've tried to work with the town and the village, and unfortunately, I feel like a citizen who's caught in between. From what I can tell, I filed my FOIL request to try to get to the bottom of what really went on. It's my understanding the town actually built Milton Pond, and at some point ceded the top of the berm towards the residents to the village. I have conflicting information in the FOIL requests that the village never accepted the easement. And so now I have all this water in my yard, and as I try to call over 30 calls to the town and the village for help, I'm getting it's not my problem, it's the other guy's problem. I'm a 30-year naval officer, and I was trained to handle things at the lowest level, and I have literally tried for the better part of 5 years, and I'm at a loss. I don't know what to do. I even went to Mr. Fascione and said, sir, give me a permit. What do I got to do? I'll try and resolve this issue myself. I found a lot of notes from various folks telling my neighbors that it was appropriate to change the hydrology of their land. Quote, do what you got to do to fix your problem. I'm honorable. I don't work that way. And I am not going to change the hydrology of my land and flood out my neighbors. Lancaster is where I grew up. I hope to return here when I finally retire for good. My greatest joy has been renovating that house that is my childhood home. I love it here, but I don't know what else to do, and so I'm coming to you for help. I'm a citizen who's caught in the middle. I don't think the fix is expensive or extensive. By that I mean the pond is literally on the other side of the berm. So if you look through the photos I've provided, you can see the water's in my yard and not in the berm. And on the corner of my property, I believe it's the northeast corner, there's also a storm sewer pipe. So either we need a drain or several drains based on an engineer's, recommendation, how many we would need. We went out and measured the flooding from this weekend. It was a 1.5 foot deep. The kids were in there playing, floating around, and now I have waterfowl, which I enjoy. But I don't want the water in my yard. When I first started to ask questions 5 years ago, it was a matter of having soggy land. Now it's starting to threaten to come into my home. And I've done everything I can. I put in the French drain. I've got the downspouts bubbling the water, to the road. I don't know what else to do. And so I'm coming to you, sir, and to the council members to see what can be done.
Thank you. Thank you for your service. Were you here during the work session?
I was, yes, sir.
Okay, yeah, it was discussed during that, and Mr. Ficcione is going to look at it again.
Okay,
and
great.
take a look. And we also have a drainage committee. Drainage committee chair is over here, and that meets the first at 6 o'clock for the same day as the town board meeting, first town board meeting of the month. A good way to follow up on it and, to make sure something's being done with it. And we'll see what we can do and look into it. And again, thank you for your service and
Yes,
see
sir.
what
If
we
I
can
can't
do.
come to the meeting, will somebody follow up? I'm currently an adjunct professor at GW Law School, so I go back and forth a lot.
Yeah, I can know.
Or do I just contact Mr. Ficcione?
Do we have your contact? We do.
Yeah, we have your contact information
We have
too.
your contact.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you so much for your time.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for your service.
Does anybody else want to address the town board at this time? Yes, sir.
Kevin Leemaster, 720 Schwartz. I just wanted to kind of go along with the young lady here about the lakes and the windmills. I've done a lot of research. I think, Bob, we've talked a little bit on it. Now, all of a sudden, they're finding out, like she said, with the windmills are vibrations. They're having problems on the East Coast with whales. They're saying it's not interfering with them. It's causing a lot more problems than just birds and that. I don't think they're a good idea, and I really do support her and ask the town board to support her in this endeavor. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, does anybody else want to address the town board at this time? Okay, thank you very much. We're going to be going into executive session. Before we do, I want to thank Karen Howard from Senator Gallivan's office for being here tonight and staying the entire time and listening to our concerns in Lancaster. Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, can I have a motion to go into executive session? Do I have a second?
Second.
And on the roll.
Councilmember Burkhardt?
Yes.
Councilmember Dickman?
Yes.
Councilmember Schroeder?
Yes.
Councilmember Studley?
Yes.
Supervisor Leary?
Yes. Everybody have a good night. Okay, we're going to take a break so we can all hit the men's room.
I have a spreadsheet, list where they are. Those are probably just the I've got the entire 175
Water-free.
where they are.
Okay. Yeah, I got the paperwork. I don't know if I sent it around yet. I got an updated version from Congressman Langman's office. I'll send it around.